Welcome back. Today I'm going to explain the first 4 episodes of Seraph of the END 2015. Be ready for some spoilers are ahead. The story begins ferociously with an airplane flying over. People are moving around and there is a great hustle and bustle. Suddenly, a truck loses its control and meets with an accident. An airplane crashes and everything is turned into ashes. Many people have died and some of the people are running away. A group of nasty people appears with their hoods on. It is announced that a group of weird people arrives and they can spread the virus. But the virus does not affect children who are below 13. They are trying to captivate the whole system. Afterward, the story moves to 4 years ahead where all the people, mostly children, are captured by those horrific people. 2 of the boys are taking a drink that has a bad taste. One of the boys tells that we have to get used to this now. The group of people is a vampire. 2 of the vampires move out of the mansion. One of them places his shoe on the hands of an orphan who is drawing something on the floor. Yu does not like it and pounces upon the vampire. The vampire picks him up in the air and is not leaving. Mika runs toward the vampire and asks for an apology. The vampire is going to throw Yu down from the height, but Lord Fairy appears. Yu is saved then and Mika starts holding a conversation with Lord Fairy. Lord Fairy asks about the situation and invites Mika to his mansion since he likes his blood a lot. Yu asks about the blood thing, then Mika responds that I get many things in return, like food. Soon after, a girl comes to Yu and invites him for a dinner. Yu sadly starts thinking about his time in Hayakuya orphanage. Yu hates the family thing as his father left him and his mother passed away. Everyone's forcing Yu to make dinner, but he is not taking it. The rest of the orphans enjoy the dinner and fall asleep. Mika appears and Yu meets him. Yu gets to know that Mika gives the blood to the vampires and receives ingredients of the food in return. Mika is so kind to everyone and Yu tells Mika that she cannot take the burden all the time. I will give the blood next time. Mika explains that those vampires are not going to accept yours as they like my blood. Henceforth, Mika takes the dinner and promises Yu emotionally that we are going to run away one day. Akane appears and loves to see Yu take dinner, which she makes. Yu and Mika order Akane to awake every orphan abruptly. Mika actually gets a map that shows the exit way. All of them are following the map. With happy faces, they start believing that they are going to live the rest of their lives in the old world. They are almost on the verge. In the middle of their route, 2 of the vampires are roaming. They feel some movement of the orphans. They reach that place straight away and find no one. Mika and the orphans find a corner at that time to hide, and that is really a narrow escape. They are only a few steps away, but the smallest distance becomes the longest and most difficult when they find Lord Fairy there. Everyone panicked now, and Lord tells them that I know you followed this way to escape. Lord gives them an open hand that if you want to run you can. They start running, but Lord picks one of the orphan girls and bites her neck to drink blood until she dies. The rest of the orphans are screaming and crying. Yu tries to shoot him, but Lord vanishes and moves to the opposite place with his powers. Lord kills everyone and shows no mercy. Now Akane is in the hands of Lord, he kills her too. Yu and Mika are left and they are helpless. Mika aims at Lord with a gun, but Lord holds him firmly and starts drinking his blood. Yu snatches the gun from Mika and aims at Lord's head successfully. Lord is dead and Mika is sharing her last words with Yu to run away. All of the people died except Yu. Yu begins running briskly, screaming, crying, and reaches a snowy place. Suddenly, 3 people appear and tell they are from Hayakuya Laboratory and will use Yu to demolish. Yu hugs one of the people and tells I am up for this. The story flashes 4 years later when a young and only man is walking steadily and guess what he seems to be Yu? And that concludes the first episode. The second episode begins when Yu starts remembering the time he had with Mika and the other orphans. He remembered how they all used to call each other a family. He also remembered the last time he saw Mika when Mika was yelling at him to run away. This was the time when Lord was drinking Mika's blood. Remembrance is over and Yu finds himself in a different place after 4 years. He at once finds a monster and starts battling him. He kills the monster quite comfortably. Yu has become a powerful young man now. He is attending a class where he is chirping in his seat. The teacher finds it disturbing and the hot words are spoken between them. A girl, Shinoa Hiragi, is sitting behind Yu. She warns him that she is a military officer and can suspend him by reporting. Shinoa advises Yu to make friends and Yu feel comfortable. Yu remembers the time when he was left alone in the snow and 3 persons appeared. They were all from the military and one of them is called Guren Ikanos. He shared that monsters are prevailing and killing the human race. If you want to kill vampires, join us because we have a remedy. After remembrance, Yu thinks he is unable to do anything. The class is dismissed and Shinoa keeps on insisting Yu make friends and you would feel like a family. Outside the class, they find that some boys are beating the innocent. They come to Yu then. After cracking a couple of jokes, one of the boys punches Yu. Yu is reminded by Shinoa that if you beat a civilian, you will be suspended. They all start walking then an errand boy tells me that I want to join Yamanaka's company since he is a part of Moon Demon Company. This company consists of those who fight against vampires. Yu becomes furious as he is expecting Guren to appoint him. Suddenly, the building explodes and an announcement is made that one of the vampires is escaped. Yu is a hunger for revenge. He accesses a place where a vampire is drinking blood from someone. Yamanaka is there too. Yu begins to fight with a vampire. Whatever he hits to the vampire turns into vein. Even if a vampire receives a cut by a knife, it heals. The weapon is not working at all. Yu expects Yamanaka to kill a vampire since he is from a company, but it's all lie. The vampire keeps on attacking and is about to kill Yu when Yoichi, the errand boy, arrives. Yu then thanks Yoichi, but the vampire pushes Yu towards the edge of the building. They both fall down and in the meantime, Guren arrives and kills a vampire with a cursed weapon. Guren tells Yu that you cannot kill a vampire with a normal weapon and try to make a company here. Yoichi becomes happy when he sees Yu alive. He jumps over him with joy and Yu becomes unconscious. While his eyes are closed, Yu again starts remembering the time he had with orphans. Mika is encouraging him to take care of new friends and get revenge to kill vampires. After saying this, Mika and his company disappear. Yu screams that they should not go. Yu screams and then wakes up and finds himself in a hospital. Yoichi and Shinoa are there and become happy that Yu is alright. Shinoa breaks the news that you are selected for a company to kill vampires. Yu accepts it all and episode 2 ends here. The third episode commences when Yamanaka with his 2 boys enter a room and get scared that an army might come. On the other side, a girl thanks Yu for saving her life and gives him a letter. A letter is filled with expressive words and the girl does not want him to read in front of her. Shinao is witnessing all this and starts teasing Yu that the girls are after Yu. Shinao reveals how vampires are taking over the place and making this world a less human place. She then shows a magical demon to Yu. Yu wants that demon gear desperately as it is useful to kill a vampire. Shinao explains that you better focus on military training first. This cursed gear can only use for those who have a contract. Yu fights hard to get that gear, but a normal gear cannot defeat a curse. They start walking and observe that Yamanaka and his boys are after Yoichi, but this time they want to be the students of Yoichi. Yu is surprised totally. Yamanaka reveals that you have the ability to combat vampires, and we are telling all this because one of our friends Yuji is trapped in a restricted area and never gets back. Shinoa answers that it's a military area and does not expect anything now. Yuji can have a life sentence there. Upon asking, Shinoa explains that you can only visit the restricted area when you have a proper taking. Yuji is untrained, that is why he is trapped. She takes them to that chamber area where they find Yuji is tucked with a demon. Yuji cannot get out as the demon captivated his heart. Despite the warning, Yu jumps toward Yuji to get that demon. They start fighting, but surprisingly Yu gets the demon and at the same time, a bizarre situation happens. Yu gets back to the place where he used to have dinner with orphans. Yu is dumbfounded. Orphans there ask Yu what's with your mission about killing the vampires. Furthermore, orphans keep asking when you are going to take our revenge. Yu asks, are you all alive? They reply that we are all dead and you ran away to gain revenge. Yu tells that it was Mika who was taking all the responsibility, and I was not given a chance. Suddenly, Yu finds himself in the chamber restricted area. It was all illusion due to the misuse of demons. Shinoa explains that you get away with your mind powers and from now on you are part of this chamber to combat vampires. But Guren will decide which demon you are going to use. Yu becomes ecstatic. However, Lord Farid in his mansion asks someone if Yu is going to use the power to save the humans. Astonishingly, the person to who Farid is talking appears to be Mika, and the third episode concludes here. The first 3 episodes ends here. Thanks for watching.